Guys, welcome on in to another episode, Getting Well with Terry and Friends, Trends and Betting Picks. I'm Terry, ready to break down today's slate. Just MLB to talk about today, which we will, of course, get to here shortly. We'll start off the show right at the beginning. We'll start off with the thank you segment of the day, and then we'll take a look at what has happened the last few days on the show. So we will start right away with the thank you segment of the day here.
High drive to left. Fitzgerald, has he done it again? Out of here! And this game is tied.
Boy, have a road trip, kid.
Fourth consecutive night with a home run for Mr. Fitzgerald, which was just awesome as we had him for a home run and over 1.5 bases yesterday. So not going to go through every play the last few days. The last show was on Friday. But overall, 3 winning days, 1 losing day. Overall, up 3.68 units over the last 4 days. So can't complain about that. Yeah, we will jump into the chat here before we get to the games. Stocks play of the day: Red Sox over 10.5. And your play of the day record 221, 219. Best of luck, Justin. Gonna miss the live show. I hit the like button. Thank you. Everyone be like Justin and smash the like button. But we will jump right into today's slate. And I will bring up the MLB spreadsheet here. And we'll start right with the first game of the night here between the Detroit Tigers and the Cleveland Guardians. Tigers money line was my only premium play on Picks and Parlays yesterday. A nice winner there with the Tigers. Currently, no official pitcher has been announced for Detroit, but it's supposed to be Wentz. So we'll see if that is in fact who starts. But for my play, it doesn't really matter who starts for Detroit because we are taking Justin Henry Malloy over 1.5 bases. He's done that in 4 of his last 5 games. He actually has back-to-back games with the home run. And he is, as you can see here, his last 6 games, multiple bases in 4 or 5, and RBI in 4 or 5, back-to-back games with the home run. Justin Henry Malloy has been hitting the ball very well recently. So we'll go with him over 1.5 bases for a half unit here in this one. Terry, hello, Storage Club. How's it going? But we will continue on along here. I will be honest, smaller card for me again today, and these smaller cards have actually been working out pretty well. So not going to be afraid to pass, which we are doing on some games, but not this one. Baltimore Orioles and the Miami Marlins here in this one. And yes, I'm betting this without knowing who's pitching for Miami. It's supposed to be Tyler starting here. Albert Suarez in the mound for the Orioles. But how I look at it here is it doesn't really matter who's pitching for Miami. It's not like they have any great pitchers that are going to come out here and shut down the Orioles. Anthony Santander has been fantastic recently. 8-game hitting streak. He's got a home run in 3 of his last 4 games. So we'll go with the quarter unit on Anthony Santander to hit a home run. I lean with the RBI as well, which he's done 4 games in a row. But just going to stick here with the home run for Santander against the Miami Marlins. Not taking any Marlins props, although Jake Berger has been hitting the ball very well. 7-game hit streak, multiple bases in 5 of his last 6 games. So you could look at Jake Berger here, but ultimately I'm just going to be sticking with Anthony Santander here in this game. What's up, y'all? Let's cash some tickets today. Good luck in your bets, Terry and chat. Thanks, Top Geo. Best of luck. Best of luck today. But we'll move on along to our next game. I think we've got a few games where I'm passing here in a row. So I'll be kind of quicker here. Cardinals and Pirates, Lance Lynn against Paul Skeens. I want to back Pittsburgh here. The issue is that they're pretty big favorites here with Paul Skeens on the mound. So if you're going to look at the Pirates, you have to look at the run line, which is just not something I want to do here. Looking at player props, Nolan Gorman's been pretty good the last few games for the Cardinals. Alec Burleson's starting to slow down a little bit here. He's 2 for 3 against Paul Skeens. So 2 singles, 3 at bats. Contreras, Donovan, you could look at them as well, but ultimately for me, for this game, I just don't love it. I just don't love it. Lean with Reynolds over 1.5 bases. McCutcheon, 13 for 57. So he's had quite a few at-bats against Lance Lynn in his career. Not going to get to his props either. So this game is a pass here. But I lean with Pittsburgh in some fashion to win this game. DK has a plus 200 boost on any home run prop, which is awesome. I mentioned Santander. There is a couple other ones I like a little bit better. So we will discuss them pretty soon. One's at the end and one will be coming up sooner here. San Diego Padres, Washington Nationals here. Don't know who's starting for Washington. Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres. Nobody's really consistent for the Padres enough recently for me. So not looking at anyone there. And again, with the Nationals, no one's quite consistent enough for me. No plays stick out here. So Padres and Nationals is a pass. New York Mets and New York Yankees. Here in this one, Jose Quintana on the mound for the Mets, Luis Gil on the mound for the Yankees. Apparently, the Mets had travel issues, not getting to New York until 5 in the morning or 5:30 in the morning. So they had travel issues yesterday. Iglesias, 7 games in a row with multiple bases. I really do lean with him here. Ultimately, don't want to take any props in this game. Soto's been great, 8 games in a row for him with multiple bases. 1 for 7 against Quintana. Anthony Volpe, 1 for 2, multiple bases in 4 or 5. So there are some hot hitters here in this game, but this game is just not one I want to get to. So I'm passing on it here in today's slate. Tampa Bay Rays are facing the Toronto Blue Jays here in this one. Randy Arozarena let us down yesterday. Didn't even get a hit in yesterday's game. But other than yesterday's game, he's been playing pretty well for the Tampa Bay Rays. 4 for 14 against Jose Barrios with a double. Jose Siri, 3 for 9, all 3 singles. He's been hitting home runs lately for the Tampa Bay Rays. Brandon Lowe has not had success against Barrios, 1 for 9. Ahmed Rosario, 1 for 10. So both of those guys have not enjoyed facing Jose Barrios in their careers. For the Blue Jays, Vladdy. Vladdy is hot right now. 4-game hit streak, multiple bases in 4 games in a row. We'll go a half unit on over 1.5 bases and a quarter unit on the home run. Vladdy has been hitting bombs recently. 3 of his last 4 games, he has a home run. He's 8 for 11 against Armstrong. He can hit Armstrong. Now, the issue here is that 7 of those 8 hits were singles. So he's not exactly smashing Armstrong, but he is hitting him. So 8 for 11 is extremely difficult to do against a single pitcher. So Vladdy just has his number. We'll take him over 1.5 bases and home run. George Springer continues to hit the ball well. George Springer had such a rough start to this season. A lot of people were thinking that maybe it's time to move on from Springer for the Jays. But right now, he and Vladdy are the only ones really producing. Springer, multiple bases in 5 of his last 8 games, a home run in 2 of his last 3. He's been doing very well recently. 4 for 9 against Armstrong with 2 doubles. So no brainer to take Springer over 1.5 places here for me. Um, this is probably my favorite home run play of the day, would probably be with Vladdy. But of course, there is one at the end of the show. If you watch the beginning of the show, you'll know who that is. But probably would go with Vladdy for the plus 200 home run drop. Yankees run line. I don't trust the Yankees right now. They're not a team I want to back. So I would pass on that. I would just pass when it comes to the side, but I'm not taking the Mets, especially with their travel issues yesterday. So not for me there. Who can we parlay with Vladdy and a both to get a hit prop? Uh, we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure we'll get to some other guys here. Lots of guys to choose from if you're looking at a hit prop. Um, we'll look at some more as we go along. Next game is the Cincinnati Reds and the Atlanta Braves. This one's really interesting. Nick Martinez on the mound for the Reds, Chris Sale on the mound for the Braves. The Cincinnati Reds have not looked good since the All-Star break. And then they come in here to Atlanta and win yesterday, 4-1. So struggling against Washington, getting swept, and then coming out and beating Atlanta. It's kind of weird, but Ellie De La Cruz, he's been consistent. 10-game hit streak for him. So he could potentially be someone good to look at for a hit. Has not faced Chris Sale. Multiple bases in 8 of 10 games. Why am I not taking it? Because I don't really want to take props against Chris Sale. 5-2 in his last 7 starts with a 2.13 ERA. His last 3 starts, all wins. 3 hits, 1 earned run against San Francisco. 5 hits, 2 earned runs against Arizona. 4 hits, 1 earned run against the Padres. So Chris Sale is dealing right now. And ultimately, I don't want to get to any props playing against him. Here, Reese Hines is cooling off, hasn't played in a couple of games. Same with Espinal. India, not quite consistent enough for me. Marcelo Zuna, over 1.5 bases. While I do lean with that, it's around minus 115. I'd really like plus money. So, yes, he's 4 for 8 with a double and 2 home runs against Martinez. So I would not talk anyone off looking at Ozuna props. I just did not get to any here in this game. But I lean with Ozuna. So if you don't mind the minus 115 for the over 1.5 bases, you can look at Ozuna in this game. Philadelphia Phillies and the Minnesota Twins here in the next game. On the mound for the Phillies is Zach Wheeler. Simeon Woods Richardson on the mound for the Twins. And again, this is a game where I just didn't get to. Trey Turner was absolutely red hot. He's cooling off a bit. Castellanos, of course, hit a home run the other day with Biden resigning. That's what Nick Castellanos does when there's big news out there, when something important or newsworthy is going on, or a tragedy of some kind. Castellanos hits a bomb. So that's what he did the other night, but then nothing yesterday. So Bryce Harper, he's been doing very well recently. I would lean with his props, but ultimately didn't get to it. And then nothing for the Twins here. Santana, 3 for 5 against Zach Wheeler, all 3 singles, but he's had some success against him. Ultimately, another game I'm passing on. I'm just trying to play my favorite plays, which is what I've been doing. Morning, Terry and friends. Happy hot day in Calgary. For some reason, when I saw that comment, I thought you said happy hot dog day, but I guess not. Happy hot day in Calgary, up to plus 34 today. Wow. Stay cool, Tim. Stay cool. But we will go on to the next game here. An easy pass. White Sox, Texas Rangers. Not interested in backing either of these teams, of course, from a side or total perspective. And Garrett Crochet on the mound for the White Sox. Could this be his last start for the White Sox before getting traded somewhere? Probably the Dodgers. We'll have to see. John Gray on the mound for the Rangers. Not a game I want to get to for props. Nobody's quite consistent enough here. So again, another pass on today's slate. Milwaukee Brewers and the Chicago Cubs here, and the next one, Sean Rhea or Colin Rhea. I don't know, Sean. Colin Rhea on the mound for the Brewers. Jameson Taillon on the mound for the Cubs. And this is a pretty good pitching matchup, which ultimately kept me off this game. Rhys Hoskins hit a home run yesterday. Will he do it again today? I don't know. He's kind of been off and on, off and on. It's tough to know when he's going to hit the ball. Willie Adames, 4 for 17 with a double and a home run against Jameson Taillon. So I do lean with Willie Adames here. I didn't end up getting to it. And then not taking Suzuki or Nico Horner here in this game. But we will continue on along. Arizona Diamondbacks and the Kansas City Royals. Here in this one, Jordan Montgomery on the mound for the Diamondbacks, Alec Marsh on the mound for the Royals. This is my Picks and Parlays exclusive play of the day. So I do have a premium play up on the site in this game, which you can get over on picksandparlays.net. Ultimately, no props here in this one. Suarez was hot. He's kind of cooled off recently. Marte with a triple yesterday. So Marte can definitely get hits. Perez, Bobby Witt Jr., and Renfroe all with home runs yesterday. The Kansas City Royals offense went off yesterday. Bobby Witt Jr. was a single short of the cycle, so he didn't quite get there, but he's hitting the ball very well. Would lean with his props, but probably minus 120, I would guess, for his props. So ultimately stayed off here when it comes to props in this game. But my premium play available on the site for this one. Boston Red Sox are facing the Colorado Rockies. Criswell on the mound for the Red Sox. Ty Block on the mound for the Colorado Rockies here. Didn't get to any props in this one. Do lean with Jaron Duran over 1.5 bases, 6 games in a row. But of course, he's usually priced at minus 120, minus 140 sometimes, especially in Colorado. I didn't even bother looking. I'm sure it's like minus 1. Actually, I will look right now to see. But Jaron Duran is one of those players. It's really hard to play his props because most of the time they are pretty pricey. And the fact that it's in Colorado makes me believe that minus 179. Minus 179 for over 1.5 bases for Jaron Duran. So you'd have to go over 2.5 bases, which is a plus 125, which I'm not interested in doing. So that's why we didn't bet his props. No Doyle props, no Michael Toglia props. Ezekiel Tovar didn't get the job done for us yesterday. Or he got over 1.5 bases for us yesterday, but didn't get the home run. And let's see here. This, if you were looking for a player to get a hit, maybe I would look at Tovar. He's on a 9-game hit streak here for the Rockies. And his total bases props minus 130. So tough to play. And that's what happens in Colorado games. They don't make it easy to bet props in Colorado. But I believe a couple more games left here. I do have more plays. Don't worry. LA Angels here are facing the Seattle Mariners. Serrano on the mound for the Angels. Logan Gilbert on the mound for the Seattle Mariners. Don't want to get to any Angels props here. Would lean with Zach Neto over 1.5 bases, which he's done 7 of his last 10 games. 2 for 6 with a double and a home run against Logan Gilbert. So potentially Zach Neto would be a good look. Joe Adell for an RBI. could possibly be a good look. And then Julio Rodriguez didn't play yesterday. This Mariners team offensively is awful. They're just awful offensively. So not a team I get to when it comes to props. Rodriguez is 4 for 9, all 4 singles against Serrano. So maybe he hits his over 1.5 bases, but I'm not confident enough to take it. So this game was definitely an easy pass between the Angels and the Mariners. Harper RBI is plus 155. Tim likes. Yeah, I looked at Harper props, didn't end up getting to anything, but yeah, he's been playing well recently, so I can't talk you off looking at Bryce Harper. Houston Astros are facing the Oakland Athletics, the red hot Oakland Athletics. The Athletics have been playing very well recently, getting the 4-0 win yesterday against this Astros team. Jake Bloss. Okay, there we go. Jake Bloss on the mound for the Astros. Osvaldo Bido on the mound for the Athletics. Here, when it comes to the Astros, they're not really hitting a whole lot recently. Jake Meyers kind of their most consistent hitter, and he's not been consistent the last couple of games, so no interest in his props. Took Brent Rooker yesterday, didn't cash for us. Probably ends up cashing today. That's usually how it goes. But I'll take Lawrence Butler over 1.5 bases. He's done in 6 of his last 7 games. He's been really good for this Oakland Athletics team. They have quite a few young hitters that are hitting well. That's why they're playing well, this Athletics team. So Lawrence Butler over 1.5 bases for a half unit here in the second last game of the night. But getting to the last game of the night, and yes, of course, we're taking Tyler Fitzgerald again. Why wouldn't we? Hit on a home run yesterday, hit on over 1.5 bases. You can get him for 1 base at Bet365 at minus 120 just to get 1 base. I took over 1.5 yesterday. I'm taking over 1.5 again, plus 200 for over 1.5 bases at Bet365 and plus 650 for the home run, which he's done in 4 games in a row, which is incredibly hard to do. So, yes, it's very, very possible that his home run streak ends at 4. It's incredibly hard to get it to 5. But the way he's hitting right now, I will take him. Over 1.5 bases for a half unit, home run for a quarter unit. Wouldn't talk anybody off the RBI either for Tyler Fitzgerald. For the Dodgers, Teoscar has been hitting the ball very well. 15 of his last 16 games, he has a hit. Home run in back-to-back games, over 1.5 bases in 6 games in a row. I may end up getting to some more props here in this game. Teoscar over 1.5 bases is a good look. Ohtani over 1.5 bases is a good look as well. Freeman doing well. Gavin Lux doing well. So there are other batters here you can take. Of course, I am trying to keep my volume a little bit lower recently, which has been working out better. So that is the plan here. Premium plays available at picksandparlays.net. Only one today. Only one premium play in the Kansas City game. So you can get my premium play over on the site in that one. We will recap today's plays, and then we will finish off the show. Justin Henry Malloy, over 1.5 bases, plus 140. Anthony Santander, home run, plus 450. George Springer, over 1.5 bases, plus 110. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., home run, plus 525. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., over 1.5 bases, plus 100. Lawrence Butler, over 1.5 bases, plus 145. Tyler Fitzgerald, home run, plus 650. And Tyler Fitzgerald, over 1.5 bases, plus 200 here on today's slate. And that is it. That is today's slate. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Make sure to hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Of course, not streaming on Twitter anymore due to Elon Musk charging money. And no, it's not. It's not like 10 or 15 bucks is going to kill me or whatever. That's not. It's not the amount of money that's the issue. It's the fact that I don't want to pay Elon Musk. I'm not a fan. I'm not interested in giving him money when he has more than enough money just to be able to stream on Twitter. It's not worth it to me, so I won't do it. So if you would like to watch the show, obviously you're going to have to watch it on the YouTube channel. But a lot of people do. So have a good day, Terry. You too, Timothy. Best of luck to everyone today. Let's all make some money, and we'll see you guys back again tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys.